came into your office, I saw a report. I think your organization published it, Nigeria's silent slaughter. And I was a bit curious that you tagged it that way. What informed using that caption? Because for people who are affected, it's not as if people know. A lot of us, at least people who are concerned about what is happening in this country, are concerned and we're aware. So, but what informed you calling it Nigeria's silent slaughter?
So, Nigeria's silent slaughter is informed from looking at the killings in Nigeria. A lot is going on, and nearly nothing is being said about it, except for the fact that you see on social media, this village, X number of people have been killed, and you will hear it on the news by unknown gunmen. And then that's all. Nothing is being done. Now, we decided to look at this issue critically and to do something about it. So we printed this. This is a book, right? Nigeria Silent Slaughter. We said there is a genocide in Nigeria and the implication for international community. Nigerians have an attitude such that when a person is killed at Bariki Ladi and you come to Jos City, you'll see business going on as if nothing is happening. And by tomorrow, people have forgotten and they have moved. And then tomorrow is somewhere in Niger State. Next tomorrow is somewhere in Kaduna and in Maiduguri and in Zamfara and everywhere. It appears as if this is a disjointed occurrences, spontaneous occurrences. But from research, we have gathered that these are calculated, intentional, and systematic happenings. There is someone who is driving this thing. There is someone who is causing this thing. And it's important for us to know that they are not disjointed occurrences. So we put this work together, we did a research, and there is a documentation of people for clearance, avoidance of doubt, names of people and locations and local governments where people have been killed. We put it together to put this book in the hands of Nigerians. Every critical stakeholder in Nigeria, our desire is for them to have this so that it reawakens their consciousness to see, oh, so it's not only 3 people that have been killed. There are over 230,000 Nigerians that were killed to ethno-religious crisis in Nigeria before the time we published this report. And that number, I mean, nowhere in the world will you see that kind of a thing. The total number of people killed in Syria, in Afghanistan, in Iraq, and all of those places, by Al-Shabaab, by Al-Qaeda, the total number of people killed to terrorism are not up to 230 people. And yet in Nigeria, we have such numbers and nothing is being done about it. Life is reduced to nearly nothing. So the purpose of this book is to say, look, if you don't do anything about it, the death will come to where you are. Don't think you are in safety. You are a retired general, you are a retired politician, you are an active politician, you are a serving military general, you are benefiting from these killings, you are not benefiting from these killings. If you don't add your voice, and all of us together rise to advocate against this madness, it won't be long, the death will be at your doorstep. So silence is not golden. And so we want to conscientize Nigerians that there is a war upon us. Communities are being razed, people are being killed and maimed, and the least we can do is to stop it. And that's the reason why we put this work together. The voluntary is coming out very soon because more people have been killed after we've done this. And I tell you, even this did not capture all the people that have been killed before now. So we will do that. We are still working at giving it to people maybe we ran out of money, so we stopped publishing. But we are trusting God to have more money to publish more and to keep giving Nigerians until everybody wake up. Whether you are a Christian or a Muslim, death does not spare anyone. All of us will die. And we will die because of ignorance, because we refuse to rise in defense of those who we think are vulnerable. Yeah.
Thank you for letting us in on this also. Very important and strategic work that you are doing and that you have done, putting that work together. So, looking at what you do, it means you engage with people from different worldviews, different ideological persuasions, and all of that. Now, how do you bring to bear your own worldview as a child of God, as a Christian, without being offensive to the other ideologies and bringing them to see things from your own perspective?
It's a big question. Working across faith and across ethnic divides and across regionalism is a big tax, it's a Herculean tax for us as people. Because some people there was a crack, and some people have entered into that crack and are making it to expand. And those cracks are faulty lines of ethnicity and religion and regionalism. So we have champions of regions, champions of ethnic agendas, and champions of religious things. It's just making us messy. But we have an understanding that we share common humanity, all of us. Whether you're a Christian, a traditionalist, or a Muslim, we share common humanity. And there are the universal laws of God. We call them universal moral laws. These universal moral laws cut across faith. Whether you're a Christian or a Muslim, these laws are binding on you. If a Muslim is leading a country without compassion, that country cannot prosper. If a Christian is leading a country without compassion, that country is going to suffer and pay for it. And so you look at universal moral laws of God, that of compassion, of love, of kindness, all of us share it. Muslims can be kind, Christians can be kind. So we focus on that. We are not looking at Jesus is the Son of God, or Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is this. No, we are not talking about those. We are talking about the fact that God has willed that as Muslims, as Christians, as traditionalists, we live together as a people. And the sooner we learn to live together, the better for us. Otherwise, all of us are going to pay for it. Some of the greatest civilizations in the world are built by Muslims. Some of the greatest civilizations in the world are built by Christians. Some of the greatest civilizations in the world are built by atheists and traditionalists, and you name it. What makes us think that it has to be a Christian or a Muslim? But you see, when we make religion our greatest appeal, it destroys us. We share common humanity, and we've got to look at that and build upon that. For me as a Christian, the Bible enjoins me to love and to love as God would, to love my neighbor. And that is the strength of what we are doing. That is what we are bringing to the table. The Bible calls me to be the salt and the light. Without me, there will be darkness everywhere. And so that understanding of God from biblical standpoint, and that is the Christian worldview, is what is informing our engagement and our activism. And we are speaking. See, if a Christian is killed, it's a human being that is killed. If a Muslim is killed, it's a human being that is killed. If a traditionalist is killed, if an atheist. See, what binds us together is that we share common humanity. After every said and done, all of us are created in the image and likeness of God. Now, I know for the Christian, we are redeemed. That I can say boldly because of the works of Jesus. But that does not mean that others were not created in the image of God. We can discuss some of the things when we go to our class of theology. But so how we are able to do this is that there are values that binds us together, and we focus on them, and we are using them to accelerate the causes of God so that we can have a peaceful and harmonious society to live in.
Wow. I love that cliche. There are values that bind us together, and we focus on those values. And I think that's good counsel for us out there to be able to live peacefully in our different societies. Now, as we round up, sir, could you give us your final thoughts? There are so many issues we are grappling with locally and globally. There are all kinds of challenges. What counsel do you have for the audience out there in terms of how to engage strategically and intentionally in dealing with all of these challenges that we are grappling with across the globe?
Yeah, so we must take the fall seriously. The humanity has fallen, and the world is fallen, and people are broken. And that accounts for the things we are seeing, because the world is not as it should be. So we have to take that account seriously. But secondly, we don't just sit down and watch things deteriorate. And my strongest appeal and advice will go to the Christians, because I have an authority for that from Scripture. The earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof, and they that dwell in it. If this earth belongs to the Lord, and it is your father's estate, what are you supposed to do when your father's estate is being plundered? I bet as a responsible son, you will get up and take responsibility. And this brings me to the next thing. What we are seeing going on is a depiction of our lack of taking responsibility. Now you see a pothole in front of a church or a mosque, but the pastor or the imam will not get up and tell his practitioners to go and fill it. They are waiting for government, the government that is important, to go and fix that. It's not going to happen. You've got to take personal responsibility. You see in a community, kidnappers will come to your neighbor and take him, and all the community will not rise in defense. It's lack of personal responsibility. After all, those who are doing the banditry and the kidnapping, they are not more than those who are. Somewhere in our minds, we think that we are safe. But if they take your neighbor, tomorrow they are going to come for you. So I advocate and I make it a strong appeal that we rise. Let there be a sense of personal responsibility. We've got to get up and take responsibility. And lastly, for every Christian, and in fact, every human being out there, we need to know that it is a duty for us to rise in defense of humanity, for us to rise and take responsibility for our neighbors, for us to rise and advocate for safe and sane environments and communities, so that we can live a peaceful life. I think that is important. The Samaritan woman on the road to Jericho, and I end with this. A priest came by, a Levite came by. But it was a Samaritan who stopped and said, and attended to that person. When Jesus finished making that statement, he said, go and do likewise. Go and take care of that person who is wounded and damaged by the bandits. And we have many of them in our communities. All of these young people who are given to drugs, to prostitutions, and all of those are people who are beaten on the highways by bandits. Do you understand? We condemn them, but they are people that the system have created. They are victims of injustice. They are using those things as coping mechanisms. We need to go and bandage them, take them to the inn, clean them and wash them. Then we will build a safe environment. If we don't do that, I hope by tomorrow the community will be unsafe for you. And the child you refuse to take care of might be the very child that will destroy your own children. You just watch and see. So get up and take personal responsibility, because it is for your own good. And these are my closing words. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's been an engaging time with Reverend Ishaya Inuwa Durkwa on VerityTalks. And I believe that the time we spent together has been very profitable and also engaging. We look forward to the next edition of VerityTalks. Thank you so much, and God bless. Thank you for joining us in today's episode of VerityTalks. Please don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. See you again on the next episode of Verity Talks. Thank you and God bless.